Okay, hello everybody. I'll open the local traffic committee meeting for Thursday the 16th of May 2024. My name's Michael Rayner. I'm the Senior Traffic Engineer for Wingecarribee Council. I'll introduce my fellow committee members. Catherine Wood, who's representative for the member of Goulburn. Ankit Bengele, who's representative for Transport for New South Wales. Sean Robertson, Manager of Assets for Wingecarribee Shire Council. Peter Edwards, representative for the member of Wallandilly. Emerald Kayes, who's Traffic Engineer for Wingecarribee Council. Senior Constable Hayley Upton, representative for New South Wales Police. Inspector Lee Ingmeyer, also from New South Wales Police. And Luke Lucas from Berrima Bus Lines. I'll start with acknowledgement of country. Wingecarribee Shire Council acknowledges the Gundungurra and Dharawal people as the traditional custodians of this land we now call the Wingecarribee Shire. I pay my respect to elders both past, present and emerging. I would also like to extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders present here today. Apologies today, Chief Inspector Brendan Burney from New South Wales Police. There's an apology. Adoption of previous minutes. I don't think we had any issues with that. I think that's been done. Declarations of interest in any of these items today? No? Okay. So the first part of the traffic committee is public participation, where I'll go through the agenda items and members of the public are able to speak to these items. First item is proposed changes to parking arrangements on Argyle Street, Berrima. We do have a member of the public to speak to this today. That's Fran Marr from the Berrima Residents Association. We have two items for Berrima, so I'll introduce the second item, and Fran can speak to both. The other item being Marketplace Berrima line marking for 45-degree angle parking. So, Fran, if you'd like to come up.
How's that? Okay, great. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to the Traffic Committee. As Michael said, my name is Fran Marr, and I'm the current Vice President of the Berrima Residents Association. This morning I'd like to address two matters on the agenda. Item 6.2, which is the proposed changes to the parking in Argyle Street. This involves installation of a 32-metre bus zone outside the front gates of the jail, 58 metres of unrestricted parking south of this, and the removal of a 22-metre loading zone. It will result in 10 to 11 extra parking spaces in close proximity to the business district of the village. It is a reworking of a proposal that was presented to the March traffic meeting. The BRA supports the proposal and thanks the traffic engineers for their work on this much needed extra parking for the village in close proximity to the business precinct. The second item is item 6.5, Marketplace Berrima 45-degree angle line marking. The BRA feels very strongly that a neglect of due process has occurred in relation to this work that was carried out during the night of March the 5th, 2024, and is only now seeking retrospective approval in May 2024. The work was carried out without any notification to residents or businesses. It occurred with no advice from the Council Heritage Officer and no notification to the Residents Association. Both of these entities are gatekeepers to ensuring the heritage significance of Berrima is not compromised and to the benefit of the whole village rather than to the whims of individuals. This current proposal before you today makes no mention of heritage. In the background information to this proposal, it states that the request was received from the community. This is incorrect. The request was received from a representative of Cars and Coffee, an event that takes place in the village 11 times a year for 4 to 5 hours, draws a crowd of 500 cars and up to 1,000 people. It is the only time that parking is at a premium in the village. Berrima is not just another village in the Highlands. The Upper Marketplace Berrima area is a small street. It has no through traffic. It leads to the listed historic Holy Trinity Church. It is comprised of 6 private residential properties, 2 of which hold state heritage significance, the Magistrates House and the White Horse Inn, as well as Pepper Green Restaurant, which does not open at night in compliance with the Berrima DCP and is closed on a Tuesday. It runs parallel to the eastern end of the marketplace, an item of historic significance in its own right, being one of the last remaining marketplaces in Australia. Property owners and the restaurant owner have individually been in contact with the BRA to express their distress at the work carried out and are keen to see it remediated. Council should be aware that as residents and business owners, we're all tightly governed by the Berrima DCP. It is what helps preserve the unique characteristic of the village. We expect Council to also be cognisant of the requirements of this document and to adhere to it when making decisions. It is the only way to ensure that the historic nature of Berrima remains the priority, rather than the needs and desires of individuals or businesses, both of which can be transient. It is therefore incredulous that line marking this small street in the area of highest conservation would have been considered without a thorough examination and discussion of all aspects of heritage, let alone seen as a priority in terms of works. Any examination of the facts would have revealed that this small road rarely has more than 6 to 12 vehicles parked on it on any given day. The only time it is at a premium is for space is on a Cars and Coffee Sunday, which occurs once a month. It is at the very heart of the premier heritage conservation area within the village. In November 2023, a comprehensive dossier of works to be done within Berrima was drawn up by the Residents Association, and it consisted of 30 items. It was submitted to Jill McArdle, the village liaison officer. It included a request to reline, mark the area coming off the Wingecarribee Bridge into Bryan Street, to clearly delineate the road to avoid a tree in the middle of the road. This is a huge safety risk, and one we were assured back in November would be addressed when next the line markers were in the vicinity. We are still waiting for this to be done. The BRA consists of 100 paid-up members and many more supporters, in a population of a village of 400. We hold public monthly meetings and work out how to best preserve the heritage of the village whilst balancing the pressures of tourism and development. We've worked very well with Council over many years, and in particular, in my experience, with Michael Rayner, the Chief Traffic Engineer. It is therefore baffling how a request from an individual who doesn't reside in the village is accommodated over and above the only representative body of the village. If this is a result of an administrative or human error, then we accept this. Berrima is of national significance and a rare example of a largely intact Georgian village. No major work should be undertaken within the village without input from Council's Heritage Advisor, close examination of the control plan, and input from the BRA. So we are extremely concerned at the lack of due process here. The report notes a precedent in the existing line marking in the business area of the Old Hume Highway. We believe this is neither comparable nor represents a precedent. The work in Marketplace has occurred on a small slip road, sparsely used, in the prime conservation area of the village, Precinct 1 of the Berrima DCP. Therefore, the BRA requests 1, that the line marking is remediated to restore the historic status of the road. 2, if the cost is an impediment, then individual residents, as well as the BRA, are willing to bear the cost of spraying out the white lines. And 3, if the committee deems today that the line marking is not to be remediated, then the BRA and the residents will proceed with presenting this case to the New South Wales Office of State Heritage. Thank you for hearing me out.
Thank you, Frank. Okay. Next item on the agenda. For the item related to Marketplace Berrima, the 45-degree angle parking, we have also received correspondence from Mr. Simon Balderstone. That correspondence will be tabled and discussed in our closed committee meeting and will be part of the minutes when the minutes are placed on the website. Item 6.2, proposed changes to parking. Oh, sorry, that was the Argyle Street Berrima. 6.3, intersection of Elsmore Road and Blue Gum Road, Bundanoon, give way restriction. Nobody to speak to that item. 6.4, Range Road, Glencorrie, road reconstruction including signs and line marking. We don't have anyone to speak to that item. Item 6.6, the 2024 Barrel Classic. We do have the organiser, David Kemp, joining us online, I understand. David, if you're ready, you can present. Yes, we can. Yeah. Thanks for that, David. Okay. Next item on the agenda is proposed pedestrian crossing on Lackey Road, Mossvale. We don't have anybody to speak on that item. Item 6.8, Railway Avenue, Winslow, removal of pedestrian refuge. We don't have anyone to speak to that item. And 6.10, traffic arrangements for proposed development on Sally's Corner Road, Sutton Forest. We don't have anybody to address that item. So that'll end the public participation part of the meeting. We'll go into closed committee where we'll discuss all the items, and we'll be back after the meeting where I will let everybody know our recommendations.